For nearly a decade, Evan Ginsberg's Legends Radio has featured interviews with the greatest names in the arts and sports. Heard worldwide at legendsradio.net, the program has featured these great musical legends: Ray Manzarek of The Doors, Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins, Judy Collins, Roberta Flack, and many more. Stars from movies, TV, and comedy have included Jenny McCarthy, Wayne Brady, 30 Rock's Judah Friedlander, Shelley Berman, Jackie the Joke Man Martling, David Allen Greer, and Paul Mooney. Stars of pro wrestling and MMA include Bruno Sammartino, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Superstar Billy Graham, and Frank Shamrock. Co-hosted by renowned journalist Dr. Mike Lano, Legends Radio is heard Wednesdays 7 p.m. to 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard. We are Evan Ginsberg back with another edition of Evan Ginsberg's Legends TV. Thank you, gentlemen. And the gentleman I am referring to is my co-host, Steve Ludwig, as well as comedian NEKO White, returning for another appearance.
It's good to be back here, man.
There you go. And we're going to have NEKO doing a stand-up set later in the show. But before that, we want to introduce Steve Ludwig, who we are both still recovering from a late-night gig on Thursday.
It was a great night at Red 58. First of all, Evan, you said gentlemen, so we looked around. Oh, you mean us? But no, it was a really great mix of entertainers. And what was your take on it?
We had Latin jazz, gypsy soul, hip-hop, reggaeton. We do an interesting mix. Edwin Vasquez Musica, the headliner, and Edwin returns next week right here at Legends TV with his brother Roberto, who's a beautiful ballad singer, and that's going to be really special next Saturday right here at Legends TV. And speaking of great, you have some really tremendous guests. The other day on your show, you had not only Eddie Brigatti, I believe his name is, from the Rascals, but Bobby Vinton as well.
Yeah.
In the same show.
I was... Bobby Vinton was the scheduled guest, and about 5 minutes before the show, it's Steve Ludwig's Classic Pop Culture we're talking about on planetludwig.com. And 5 minutes before the show, one of my other guests, who's an author, a Rascals author, said, "Hey, I'm at Eddie Brigatti's house. You want to interview him tonight?"
Wow.
Oh, yeah? Okay. I think I can fit him in. So it was a great surprise. I mean, and I had an indie wrestling manager, Major Bill Bullitt. He had a great interview with me. So, Evan, I wanted to tell you, last week we had Tony DeMarco on from A&S Comics, and he brought an $1,100 comic in. I wanted to bring
You stole it.
I gave it back. You got me in the parking lot. But I wanted to bring my original 1964 Paul McCartney Beatle doll in.
Wow.
In the, because of pop culture, I love pop culture, but it's not quite as much worth quite as much as Tony's because it's only one of the set of four. But I thought it'd be cool, little Tommy Marr, the director, saying, "Hey, stupid Steve, hold it so we can see it, please."
Yeah. There you go.
But yeah, just real quickly, I'd love to, again with my radio show, thank my sponsors, ascomics.com, abcmoversandshakers.com, and flaccocoquito.com. I couldn't do the show without them.
And Flacco Coquito is run by Cynthia Sepulveda Caballero, who is instrumental in helping us do the gig the other night, and she's a real mover and shaker in the arts community. We'll get her on the show one day. Yes, but without further ado, we have NEKO White, who I always say is a future star. He's celebrating his 6th year in comedy, but you're still a young guy. When did you start?
I started comedy when I was 14. I started in high school, you know what I'm saying? And I don't have a grand reason for starting. Like, it was always in me. I was always the funny kid. And that was always my identity in school. So when I got into high school and I met a kid named Rodney who was conversationally funnier than I was like, well, what do I do now? Either I do something that sets me apart and makes me myself, or I just fall into that area shaded gray in high school, which is the worst place to be.
Yeah.
So thankfully, my teacher that day just didn't want to teach during last period. And she didn't. She was like, does anybody have a talent? So this girl named Esther went up. She sung a song, and she was good. And then something in me was like, go tell jokes. Had never tried it before. I went and I did 10 minutes on the things that happened during that day in white people. And yeah, it worked. And it was every day.
Never looked back.
Since then. Never looked back. Yep.
Wow.
And here we are 6 years later at Legends Radio.
And do the girls like comedians, jocks, rappers, or musicians better? Who gets the women?
I probably did better because I made fun of all of them.
Okay,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Like not necessarily in school, because in my school there was 2 girls that liked me. You know what I'm saying? The rest, they thought I was funny. You know what I'm saying? But I had a pretty good girlfriend in high school, so I can't complain.
There you go.
Yeah.
And what is it like to be 14 years old and hanging out at a club late at night, waiting to get 5 minutes of stage time? How'd you handle that?
First of all, I think my mother thought I was developing a weed habit.
Yeah.
Because you got to go in to do the open mics in New York, you have to pay $5. So every day I'm going up and I'm like, yeah, can I get $5? Can I get $5? Can I get $5?
Yeah.
Then I'm coming home at 11 o'clock, and she's like, well, he's safe, but where have you been?
Yeah.
Because I didn't really want to tell them where I was going. I was like, yeah, I'm going downtown. All right, just get back home. And it was fun. I can't lie, it was a lot of fun. Because I have nothing else to do. I'm doing something that none of my friends are doing. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm in now. Like, I remember it was Easter of, I forget what year, 2009. Because I was 16. I've been doing comedy for 2 years, 2009. We went down to the High Comedy Club. And because I did mics at the High Comedy Club, I was like, oh, well, we gonna get in.
Yeah.
And not only are we going to get in, we're going to get in for free.
Right.
Well, we had to pay. And not only did we have to pay, we had to buy the 2 drinks. But I knew the comedians that were going on stage, like I get a pound or whatever when they would come off. My friends were like, oh, you know that dude? I'm like, uh-huh. I know all of them, as I still have to go to the bar and pay for the ginger ales that they made us order. But,
Wow.
you know, I can't complain. It was fantastic. And it still is.
So 6 years into it, how many gigs would you estimate you've done?
More than 1,500.
1,500.
Wow.
More than 1,500.
Wow.
Yeah.
So they say in any field, whether it's a musician, whatever the case may be, you have to put in 5,000 hours to be great, and you've done it.
I don't know about that, but
Oh, yeah.
I'll
You're
say
great.
I'm working towards it.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Well, why don't we give the viewers a little taste of NEKO White? Let's go to the video clip, folks.
Okay.
White dudes over there, you like, fuck me, go away. Black dude, it's Saturday night, 10:30. What's up? I see all you people in here. What's up? That's my fault. Where are the women? It's 8 dicks at one table. They all like this. We're loving the show. Where are the ladies? Like, okay, it's a bachelor party. Where are the ladies? I ain't too old. I ain't never had one, but the ones that I've seen on TV is usually, I don't know, poles, strippers, and cakes and stuff like that. All you have now is a black dude on the stage with a microphone. Happy bachelor party. Who's the lucky guy that's getting married? You? Who put this together for you? Him? He's not your friend. Now, you know what's so beautiful? You have your bag up here on the stage. Right. In New York. Woo-wee. And I love Tic Tacs. Thank you so much. This is beautiful. And she really don't think I'm still this. She crazy. Now here you go, mama. Keep your merchandise up to stay. I'll keep Tic Tacs though. You gonna tip me one way or the other. Oh, damn, y'all look good. This is a beautiful crowd. Jesus Christ, how are y'all? Can we get like some of y'all to sit over there? Like, I don't know what kind of friend you are, but you are a major cock blocker, man. And y'all littering on the stage. Pick your paper up. It's your bachelor party, all dudes and you litter. Jesus Christ. How about damn you huge? Jesus. Who are you hiding in your shoulders? Don't pull that shit up, man. That shit is disgusting. And it's all flab. You proud of your fat. Hey, I ain't mad at you. Yes, I am. What's going on over here? How are y'all? You chilling? Why are you putting your street voice on? You don't even know if I'm from the hood yet. I could have grew up with white people for all you know. He just jumped straight to the slang. Yo, what's good? How you do? All right. You with her? What the fuck is with you people? Like, you don't know who you came with? I asked him, you with her. He took a cocky sip of his drink. Yeah. You think you with her, but I don't think she with you. Because when I said that, she was like, he paying. Oh my goodness. Hello. Are you two together? Y'all are? How long y'all been together? Work friends? What the fuck, man? Where'd you find him? Blackpeoplemeet.com? Oh my goodness, y'all are a beautiful crowd. I can't really see too far back here. Oh yes I can, it's all white. Hello. I like my white people just like this, calm and in chairs. Because most times when I'm surrounded by large groups of white people, they have on blue uniforms and badges pointing guns at me and shit. Oh man, y'all are really fucking beautiful. We have any Jamaicans in the audience? Woo! Alright, forget it then. I love Jamaicans, I just don't like arguing with y'all, because y'all, you ain't never been clowned until you've been clowned by a Jamaican. I had an argument with this one Jamaican lady in KFC. It was a simple argument first, and shut up, no, you shut up. Then I said something, oh my God, this is what she said to me, she said, shut up, your mother smell like dirty crotch.
All right. That was the comedy of NEKO White.
First of all, that is an old video, and that's from, I was 17, I was hosting at Caroline's for Donnell Rawlings, and I was nervous as hell, you know what I'm saying? You could tell by the number of times I said Jesus Christ while I was up there. I was like, okay.
And it was incredibly well shot.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, that person, the Blake, she had the flip camera, and you know, we got the heads of people as they walk past. It was good. It was good.
Great.
It was the club feeling, though.
Oh yeah,
that's what the club was like.
That's what we wanted to capture.
It was really something to see that video again. I have tried to burn that out of my mind.
There you go.
You're going to be back at Caroline's, aren't you?
Yes, November. Actually, I'm going to be there twice, because what's today's date?
The 5th.
Today's the 5th. October 5th. On October 22nd, I think that's a Tuesday, a very dear friend of mine named Brian John, who me and him started out doing comedy around the same time. He's going to be doing his breakout artists at Caroline's, and I'm going to be performing on that show. But on November 7th, 2013, I will be featuring for Jay Farrow at Caroline's from SNL. So please come check us out. Jay's funny. I'm funny. It'll be hilarious. One hell of a show, I promise you.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And I say all the time that NEKO is going to be a future star, and you'll say you saw him here first.
And you better believe it. If they say they didn't, I'm going to make sure they go back to watch it.
There
you know
you
what
go.
I'm saying? Because not a lot of people are as nice as you are, Evan and
thanks.
Steve,
That's
to have
appreciate
me
it.
on multiple times. I did this show when y'all first did it.
You were on the very first show.
The very first
That's
one.
right.
Yep. And now I got to make sure I don't tell the same jokes while I'm here. But you know.
And we're going to do a short live comedy set later in the show.
Yes,
and,
sir.
please give out your website, how people could get in touch with you.
Oh, please, simple. The best way to get in contact with me is find my website and go to contact. I'm right there. It's nekowhite.com, www.neko, N-E-K-O, white.com. Hit me up. I love to perform at your club, college, or wherever else.
There you go. And if there's any club owners out there looking to do live comedy, live music shows, they could get in touch with yours truly as well, because we book tons of artists, and we just did a big show the other night. We packed the place on a Thursday, so get in touch with yours truly. And that should about do it for this segment, folks. We will be right back with the great singer, songwriter, guitarist, Ansel Matthews. Don't go anywhere.
On Saturday night, October 19th, Act One Entertainment Net coordinates 6 Long Island venues with over 30 bands that will participate in Banding Together Against Animal Abuse, a fundraising event benefiting Save a Pet Rescue and Adoption Center in Port Jeff. Hosting these simultaneous multi-venue unique events will be the Blue Parrot Lounge in Massapequa, Candy's Magic Pub in Shirley, Grumpy Jack's in Port Jeff, Bobby Q in Patchogue, Hotel Fish in Hampton Bays, and The Hub in Island Park. For more info, call the Act One office at 631-758-3505.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail centre. Hog's hair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community for over 30 years. Senior discounts all day, every day. Ladies' Day Wednesday, $3 off any wash. Early bird discount Monday through Thursday till 9:30 a.m. Check out our website, formulaautowash.com.
This is Beth.
Hi.
Oh, congratulations. When are you due?
I'm not pregnant.
Oh, look at that. Excuse me.
You're totally thin.
You look very sexy.
For life's bleachable moments, all it takes is 3/4 of a cup.
You know you already want a Toyota, but when you want more from your Toyota store, you want Smithtown Toyota, where every Toyota comes with Smithtown Toyota's Toyota for Life program, giving you lifetime New York State inspections, lifetime 10% discounts on all parts and service, 2 years of complimentary oil changes, 2 years of scheduled maintenance, and more, all at no cost to you, plus low clear-out deals on every Toyota in stock. Get more from your Toyota store. Hurry to Smithtown Toyota.
All right, Evan Ginsberg back with Legends TV, and we are honored to have one of the finest musicians I've ever been privileged to know and work with,
sir.
My friend Ansel Matthews. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm good.
Great.
You know, glad to be back amongst your presence.
Oh, same here. And we met through the beloved Fred Giabold over at WBAI-FM, the late, great Fred. And tell us a little about Fred and your relationship.
Fred was a character, you know. I mean, I've been in and out of the Village since the 80s, and you meet a lot of characters, and, you know, have good connotations, have bad. Fred was a character in the best of senses. He was a humanitarian. So he would say to me, Ansel, you're not left, you're not right, but you're a humanitarian, and that's what I like about your music. That's what I like about you. You care about people. And you're here for the human race. And Fred was definitely one of those persons who also was here for the human race. You know, rest in peace. I wish we had more people like him today, actually.
Fred did not have a selfish bone in his body. All he was about was supporting other artists and showcasing them. And we were on 3 a.m. for many, many years. Then we moved to 2 p.m. in the afternoon. You're talking 50,000 watts, New York City, you know, serious audience. And I said to Fred, now we could get Al Green and George Clinton and get all these great artists on 2 in the afternoon. And he's like, oh, no. We're here to showcase independent artists. And,
we need it. I mean, Al Green's got already
100,000.
Yeah, he's got 100,000 people. What about the...
yeah.
I mean, even more so now than when Al Green was growing up. You know, artists need... real artists need a showcase. I mean, the ones who are removing this and removing that, you know, they have a format. You know, those of us who are still trying to do the true art, where it's about the music or it's about what we're doing, and that in the contents of that, you know, we're the ones who are obscured now by all the video stars.
Video vixens.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, how can we compete with that when people are looking for that sort of scintillant?
We showcase great indie artists virtually every week right here on this show, and we're proud to do it. And some of them are as great, if not greater, than people at the top of the charts. So that's what we do here. And
well, what I've learned through my years is greatness is always spread out. You have it at the top, you have it at the middle, you have it at the bottom. And all of them are equally as great. Some of them get the breaks, some of them get the opportunities. Yet all of them are worth listening to.
I'll tell you something interesting. Whenever I talk about you to friends, I'll say, you know, Ansel's this tremendous artist, singer, songwriter, guitarist, and they'll say, what style of music is it? And I'll go, well, it's kind of folk, but it's kind of jazz, and it's very spiritual, but it's not gospel. And I think this is part of the problem with music today. Everything has to be categorized, pigeonholed. What's your take on that?
Well, you know, as you know, we're of a certain age. Those of us who listened to 60s or 70s music before the video took hold, I mean, you would be listening to a station and you'd hear country, you'd hear rock, you'd hear jazz, you'd hear blues, you'd hear folk, all within the span of 30 minutes. It was an eclectic blend of music. And I know today, you know, younger folks are privy to having a certain sexualizing, or not sexualizing, but having their music put up in a certain genre where they can just stream only that. But I think, I mean, look at Ray Charles, man. Ray Charles was a country fan, man. My grandmother's favorite music was country. You know, my brother listened to funk, Prince, had James Brown going in the house. Oh, yeah. I did choral classical stuff growing up. Had every style of music, and just like a beautiful woman, each one brings its own certain aspect of what it's great in. You know, I mean, with the singer-songwriters, I could just sit there and read their lyrics. You know, you couldn't. I mean, it reached that sort of poetic climax. And, you know, and other things were about the groove and the funk and the vibe. Oh, yeah. You know, and each one was really good at one particular aspect. So I, like any child would do, as being a child of music, as any child would do, I took what I saw was the best aspects from each parent, you know, in front of me. And I took it and I tried to make that a part of who I am.
And Steve is taking me to see the best tonight, Sly Stone, live at B.B. King's. And Steve's a huge music fan.
Yeah, you know, we had a great conversation earlier, Ansel and I. You paralleled a musician as yourself to an artist. Could you elaborate on that for the audience? It was a great conversation.
Well, I think it's harder to be an artist. We were talking about records, the actual record. In that period, 60s to 70s, which I believe was was it the last American Renaissance. I mean, even if you talk about rap, that was planted in the 70s, the last poets and stuff like that. So that was a period where I think the artist you could be an artist, and it was about being an artist. The whole album concept was geared towards an artist because the album itself was art on top of that, and what lied within it was art. It was a journey. And today where we go with the hit albums, nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you look back in the music history, it started with just singles. They would do a single, would become a hit, then you put an album out. Well, in the 60s and 70s, it reversed itself where you put the album out, and maybe there were hits within it, which is an artist-friendly way of doing it. You didn't have to always make the hit. Because every artist isn't going to have a hit, but a lot of artists have a lot to say. And I don't know if that format still exists where we have a lot to say, but we're not necessarily hit makers. But there's lessons and there's wisdom within the format itself. The hit may be there, but we were talking about the journey through the hit. You know, the peaks and the valleys. You don't have to be on the what happened before you reach the summit. You know, which was part of the journey. It's not just being on the summit. The real story was the peaks and valleys that led up to the summit, and the peaks and valleys that lead back, going back down. And that's what I enjoyed about that period. You were allowed to have peaks and valleys, maybe a summit, maybe you were Mount Everest, maybe you were just a American mountain, that didn't reach as high. But the journey itself was in itself a separate event.
And we are going to be privileged to hear the music of Ansel Matthews in this beautiful video right here.
We'll make it a classic project. May this blessing that you've given me be a healing for the soul. Hallelujah. And this body that you've given me be a bridge for young and old. Hallelujah. Let the lion and the lamb, the black and the white regain their sight and see what they've been missing. They've been missing in their lives. The lion and the lamb, the black and the white, lie down peacefully and finally learn to come to love the things they're furthest from. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. For the lessons that we all must learn, may they never be too tough. Hallelujah. The abundance that you've given us, may it one day be enough. Hallelujah. That's right, Barbara. Let the lion and the lamb, the black and the white regain their sight and see what they've been missing. They've been missing in their lives. The lion and the lamb, the black and the white, lie down peacefully and finally learn to love the things they're furthest from. Hallelujah. black and the white regain their sight and see what they've been missing. They've been missing in their lives. The lion and the lamb, the black and the white, lie down peacefully and finally learn to love the things that bear this God. Hallelujah, hallelujah, Thanks a lot for listening.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's beautiful. And I believe you did that at Fred's Memorial, if I remember
I
correctly.
think I did that song. That was actually at Canadian Street Cafe on Canadian Street in the Village. I shared a bill with another friend of mine. We were on Palmetto Records together, and we were performing. But, you know, it just carries within my heart the wish for human evolution, for us to keep growing as a whole race, as a humanity, and to see and to be able to incorporate everything and everyone, because it won't work unless everybody's a part of it.
And I don't think we could end the interview on a better note than that. Ansel, please tell the listeners, the viewers, how they could get in touch with you.
They can find me on cdbaby.com. My personal email is anselmatthews@earthlink.net. And you can find me on YouTube and everything all around, just like everyone else. You know, even if I don't take the video, someone else is. And I have a Facebook page too. I'm on that a lot, making comments, always interacting. Sometimes wise things, sometimes wise ass things. But I do have my viewpoint, which I share.
Okay, and later in the show, you're going to do several live numbers. So don't go anywhere, folks, and we're going to have NEKO White doing a short live comedy set as well. We will be right back after this very brief timeout.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Hi, I'm Steve Ludwig. When I was 52 years old, I had quintuple open heart bypass surgery, and I wrote a book about it. It's called See You and CCU. Apart from having my rib cage sawed apart, I experienced temporary loss of memory, depression, and sleepless nights in unbearable pain. A lot of people might think there's nothing funny about that, but I think it all depends on how you look at it. See you and CCU.
For nearly a decade, Evan Ginsberg's Legends Radio has featured interviews with the greatest names in the arts and sports. Heard worldwide at legendsradio.net, the program has featured these great musical legends: Ray Manzarek of The Doors, Billy Corgan of Smashing Pumpkins, Judy Collins, Roberta Flack, and many more. Stars from movies, TV, and comedy have included Jenny McCarthy, Wayne Brady, 30 Rock's Judah Friedlander, Shelley Berman, Jackie the Joke Man Martling, David Allen Greer, and Paul Mooney. Stars of pro wrestling and MMA include Bruno Sammartino, Rowdy Roddy Piper, Superstar Billy Graham, and Frank Shamrock. Co-hosted by renowned journalist Dr. Mike Leno, Legends Radio is heard Wednesdays, 7 p.m. to 9:20 p.m. Eastern Standard. We are archived 24/7 with hundreds of hours of classic interviews. Legends Radio also features the best in indie music, showcasing talent deserving wider exposure.
Brooklyn, baby, don't forget the gravy.
We are soldiers.
You missed the birth of your mother and father. Don't you dare miss Evan Ginsberg's Legends Radio.
And we are back. Yeah. All right, my name is NEKO White, stand-up comedian. Let's just jump right to it. First of all, I cannot watch the news anymore. I'm sick of it because all it does is that it depresses you 24 hours, 7 days a week. For example, when George Zimmerman was in court, they kept that on the news 24/7. And my mom is addicted to MSNBC. If you don't know what that is, think of your white friend who wants black friends a little too bad. That's MSNBC 24 hours, 7 days a week. Just Zimmerman, and black people. Who are we mad at? Zimmerman. It got to the point where I told my mother, I was like, look, if you don't change the channel, I'm going to shoot you and say I was standing my ground. Change the channel. I want to watch this all day. And then there's nothing funny about that particular situation. However, if you were on social media, Facebook or Twitter, about an hour before the verdict came out, you would have laughed. Like if you would have been able to see the difference in how black people posted about that case versus how white people posted about that case, it was fucking hilarious. My black friends were on Facebook like, damn, I think Zimmerman might get off. If he does, we need to tear this city up. Hashtag, don't believe me, just watch. My white friends were on Facebook like, I think Zimmerman might get off. Black people, please remember that he's Mexican, okay? Like, this one has nothing to do with us, we swear. We love you guys and your hoodies. Hashtag, I voted for Obama too. Like, relax, we know who to be mad at. Like, I was happier to watch the news when Paula Deen was in trouble. I thought that was fantastic. Because she's an idiot. That's all she is. She's stupid. If you don't know who I'm talking about, Paula Deen is an American chef who used to be on the Food Network. She admitted to saying the N-word and she got fired. In the first place, Paula Deen is a chef who got famous for frying butter. And that's not a joke. That's what she did. She fried butter. I'm not mad that you said the N-word. I'm pissed that you were famous in the first place. And then they kept saying, Paula Deen says N-word and black people are outraged. I beg your pardon? We didn't even know who Paula Deen was. When I first heard them say, Paula Deen says N-word and black people are outraged, I thought one of the dudes from Jersey Shore said nigga, I swear to God. I was almost proud. I was like, he knows a word with that many syllables, good for him. But then when I figured out, I looked into the story, and they asked Paula, have you ever used the N-word? When you're white with a television show and they asked you, have you ever used the N-word? There's a responsible way to answer that question. And that way is no. Instead of her saying that, when they said, Paula, have you ever used the N-word? She said, yes, of course, honey. I know as soon as she finished that sentence, her money just got up and walked out her bank account. Like, where are we going? To the United Negro College Fund, because Paula don't know how to keep her mouth shut. And then the dude asks her, because, it's awkward in the room now. So he's like, okay, Paula, in what context did you use the N-word? She says, I used the N-word 20 years ago when this black dude had a gun to my head robbing me. That's a lie. Okay, that doesn't even make sense. Like, for example, my dude, let's say, hypothetical, you have nothing to worry about. Answer honestly. I'm robbing you. got a gun to your head. Like, shut up. Don't you say a word to me. Shut up. Now listen, you give me all the money that you got or I'm going to blow your brains out. You going to call me a nigga? I thought not. Because I told you don't say nothing, and you going to say that? Of course. If nothing else, you going to talk like the slave. Like, I got your monies right here, massa. And my thing with Paul is that you got to be careful on the comeback. Because what if the guy that robbed you never went to prison? What if he's at home watching this story like, she called me a what? Oh, I need to finish what I started 20 years ago. Hashtag don't believe me, just watch. You know what I'm saying? This has been amazing. My name's NEKO White. Thank you and goodbye.
Oh!
Yeah.
On Saturday night, October 19th, Act One Entertainment Net coordinates 6 Long Island venues with over 30 bands that will participate in Banding Together Against Animal Abuse, a fundraising event benefiting Save a Pet Rescue and Adoption Center in Port Jeff. Hosting these simultaneous multi-venue unique events will be the Blue Parrot Lounge in Massapequa, Candy's Magic Pub in Shirley, Grumpy Jack's in Port Jeff, Bobby Q in Patchogue, Hotel Fish in Hampton Bays, and The Hub in Island Park. For more info, call the Act One office at 631-758-3505.
When your cable's on the fritz, you get frustrated. When you get frustrated, your daughter imitates. When your daughter imitates, she gets thrown out of school. When she gets thrown out of school, she meets undesirables. When she meets undesirables, she ties the knot with undesirables. And when she ties the knot with undesirables, you get a grandson with a dog collar. Don't have a grandson with a dog collar. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. When your cable company keeps you on hold, you get angry. When you get angry, you go blow off steam. When you go blow off steam, accidents happen. When accidents happen, you get an eye patch. When you get an eye patch, people think you're tough. When people think you're tough, people want to see how tough. And when people want to see how tough, you wake up in a roadside ditch. Don't wake up in a roadside ditch. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. When you pay too much for cable, you throw things. When you throw things, people think you have anger issues. When people think you have anger issues, your schedule clears up. When your schedule clears up, you grow a scraggly beard. When you grow a scraggly beard, you start taking in stray animals. And when you start taking in stray animals, you can't stop taking in stray animals. Stop taking in stray animals. Get rid of cable and upgrade to DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV.
So then I said, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm flattered that you love chocolate, but I'm here strictly in a professional. What's wrong with him?
He thinks you're naked.
My shell is brown. It just looks like my milk chocolate is showing. Only a fool would think I'd actually show up naked.
So it's that kind of party. Hit it!
I'm sexy and I know it.
Aye.
Look at that body. Look at that body. Look at that body. I work out. Wiggle, 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 wiggle.
For professional motorcycle transport and towing, think Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing. Proudly serving all of Long Island, we feature expert handling and 24/7 service. So send a limo for your toy with Kickstart Fabrications Motorcycle Towing.
Welcome to Formula Auto Wash, where every day is a great day for a car wash. Open 7 days a week from 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Sundays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Detailing packages for every budget, starting out at $29.99. 100% hand wash and detail center. Hogshair and microfiber brushes and mitts. Proudly using Ecolab Blue Coral soaps and waxes. Formula Auto Wash has served the community.
All right. So this song is called What a Fool I've Been.
I can feel it up against my skin. It cuts like a knife, it clings like a shadow, and I can hear it, it is whispering. So grasp my hand and pull me in. Where do you stand in a world that's crumbling? Nothing better than a faithful friend. Lord only knows what a fool I've been. What a fool I've been, yeah. And it's a rocky road down in this valley. The stones are jagged and the hills are steep. A long winding maze that leads me in circles. We are rising from underneath. Grasp my hand and pull me in. Where do you stand in a world that's crumbling? Nothing better than a faithful friend. Lord only knows what a fool I've been. And I don't know for certain what will become of me. Still I must find and face my destiny. I don't know for certain, certainly I am going to try to lie in the grass over on the other side, the other. Grasp my hand, pull me in. How do you stand in a world that's humbling? Nothing better than the love you send. Lord only knows what a fool I've been. Grasp my hand and hold on tight. We're gonna climb with all of our might. Nothing better than the love you send. Lord only knows what a fool I've been. Let me It's a different point of, it's a different point of, we live our lives choosing sides, seeing just one path, one truth. They're wrong and we're right. But I spent my time up against the storm, fighting for air with voices whispering conform. The pressure mounts, the seams unglue, the noose gets tight as life turns the screws. Still I'm being true to a different point of view. Different point of view. Ba-da-da-beep, bop. We live our lives chasing stars, believing believing that all we've acquired is really who we are, we are, we are. But I've spent my time seeing through this disguise, saying a prayer and seeing the world through many eyes. The pressure mounts, the seams unglue, the noose gets tight, it's life turns the screws. Still I am being true to a different point of view. You know what you know, but no one knows how the wind blows, or these feelings within ourselves. You know what you know, but no one knows where the wind goes. Shifting then flowing, shifting, shifting. Different point of view. Ba-da-da-beep, bop. We live our lives, choosing sides, seeing just one path, one truth. They're wrong, we're right. The pressure mounts, the seams unglue, the noose gets tight as life turns the screws. Still I'm being true to a different point of, different point of, different point of view. Different point of view. Ba-da-da-beep, bop. We live our lives, we live our lives, we live our lives, live with a different, different, different point of view. Different, so different, different. Beep, 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 doo-doo-doo.
Yeah.
And pull out my handy dandy capo here. Hopefully I have it. There it is. There it is. So I did this last song I wrote. All these are my original songs, and this last song is called "A Perfect Kind of World," because that's what we're looking for. I have found myself far from the crowds and lights. Yes, I have found myself, and oh, what a precious sight. Yes, I have found myself, despite being denied. As I have found myself way down deep inside, in a perfect kind of world, we would all fulfill our dreams. In a perfect kind of world, I know that love would surely reign supreme. I have found myself by dealing with all of the hurt. Yes, 'cause I have found myself, and now accept my word. And I have found this world, though sometimes cruel and hard, gives us all a chance to learn just who we are. In a perfect kind of world, we would all fulfill our dreams. In a perfect kind of world, I know that love would surely reign supreme. I have found myself by learning to forgive. It takes a lot of strength to live the life we live. In a perfect kind of world, we would all fulfill our dreams. In a perfect kind of world, I know that love would surely reign supreme, reign supreme. I hope that one day love will reign supreme, supreme. And I have found myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much.